4. There comes a moment in every life when things stop changing until you decide to change them. Transformation is not an event, it is built quietly, daily, through habits that either lift you or limit you. If you master your habits, you master your future. There comes a powerful shift in life when you stop waking up late and start taking control of your mornings. The way you begin your day silently decides the quality of everything that follows. When you wake up before the world starts demanding your attention, you create space that belongs only to you. In that space, your mind is calm, your thoughts are clear, and your direction becomes intentional instead of accidental. Most people rush into their day already tired, already distracted, already reacting to messages, notifications, and responsibilities. But those who rise early step into the day with a sense of ownership rather than pressure. They are not chasing time, they are leading it. Early hours carry a different kind of energy. The world is quiet, distractions are minimal, and your focus is sharper than at any other time. This is where transformation begins in small but powerful actions. Planning your day with clarity, reading, or something meaningful, reflecting on your goals, or simply sitting in silence can reshape your mindset before the chaos begins. These moments build discipline in a way nothing else can. You start proving to yourself that you are capable of choosing growth over comfort, consistency over laziness, and purpose over delay. Over time, this habit rewires your identity. You stop being someone who struggles to start the day and become someone who leads it. Your confidence grows because you are no longer reacting to life, you are preparing for it. Even your energy throughout the day feels different because your morning was not wasted, it was invested. What seems like a small decision to wake up earlier slowly turns into a foundation of success, stability, and mental strength that supports everything else you want to achieve. What you allow into your mind every single day is shaping the direction of your entire life, even when you don't notice it. The habit of feeding your mind before feeding distractions is one of the strongest shifts you can make if you truly want transformation. Most people wake up and immediately surrender their attention to social media, random videos, negative news, and more, endless scrolling. Without realizing it, they are letting outside noise decide their thoughts, emotions, and focus for the rest of the day. When your mind starts the day in chaos, your decisions follow the same pattern. But when you choose to protect your attention and direct it towards something meaningful first, everything begins to change. Reading a few pages of a book, listening to an insightful voice, or learning something new gives your mind direction instead of confusion. It is like planting seeds before the world starts throwing weeds at you. Your thinking becomes sharper, your awareness grows stronger, and your mindset slowly shifts from reactive to intentional. The mind is constantly absorbing, even when you are not actively trying to learn. That is why what you consume matters more than how much you consume. Every piece of content either builds you or breaks you down in small, invisible ways. Over time, those small inputs turn into your beliefs, your habits, and eventually your identity. When you consistently prioritize learning over distraction, you begin to notice a quiet but powerful change. Your focus improves, your motivation becomes more stable, and your thought, or feel more control instead of scattered. You are no longer mentally overloaded by everything happening around you. Instead, you are grounded in what actually matters. That single shift gives you an advantage in every area of life because a focused mind always creates a focused life. Your body is not just a physical structure, it is the engine that drives your discipline, your mindset, and your energy. When you make movement a daily habit, you are not only improving your fitness, you are shaping your identity. A person who moves their body regularly begins to think differently, act differently, and respond to life with more strength and clarity. Even small forms of movement, when done consistently, create a powerful ripple effect across every area of life. Most people underestimate how deeply physical energy affects mental performance. When the body is inactive, the mind becomes sluggish, unfocused, and easily distracted. But when you engage your body daily, blood flow increases, energy rises, and your brain begins to function at a higher level. You feel more alert, more capable, and more willing to take action instead of delaying it. This is why movement is never just about app, or ERANCE-IT is about activation. The real transformation comes from consistency, not intensity. You do not need extreme workouts or perfect routines to change your life. You need repetition. A simple walk, stretching, light exercise, or structured training done every day builds a silent discipline within you. Every time you choose to move instead of staying still, you are training your mind to overcome resistance. That resistance is the same force that shows up in every other area of life when you try to grow. Over time, this habit builds confidence that cannot be faked. You start to feel stronger in your decisions because your body is proving to you that you can handle discomfort. You stop negotiating with laziness and start responding with action. Your posture improves, your energy becomes more stable, and your mindset becomes more resilient. Movement becomes more than a habit, it becomes a signal to yourself that you are someone who shows up no matter what, and that identity begins to shape everything you do. Growth never happens in the space where everything feels easy. The habit of doing hard things is what separates temporary motivation from real transformation. Every time you choose discomfort over convenience, you are training your mind to expand its limits. At first, it feels heavy. You resist it. You delay it. You look for excuses. But every time you push through that resistance, something powerful begins to shift inside you. Most people build their lives around avoiding difficulty. They choose the easiest path, the quickest reward, and the least effort required. But that lifestyle slowly weakens their discipline. On the other hand, when you deliberately face difficult tasks, whether it is completing work you don't feel like doing, waking up when your mind says, sleep more, or continuing when you want to quit, you start building mental strength that cannot be replaced by talent or luck. The real change happens when doing hard things becomes normal instead of rare. You stop negotiating with your emotions every time something feels uncomfortable. You start acting based on purpose instead of mood. That shift is what creates consistency. And consistency is what builds success, not occasional bursts of effort. Every hard task you complete adds a layer of confidence to your identity. You begin to trust yourself more because you are no longer just making. Or aim promises, you are fulfilling them. The voice of doubt becomes weaker because your actions keep proving it wrong. Slowly, discipline becomes your default setting. What once felt impossible starts to feel manageable. What once felt overwhelming starts to feel like a challenge you are capable of handling. And without realizing it, you evolve into a version of yourself that is stronger, more focused, and more reliable than before. That is the hidden reward of embracing difficulty. It doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you become. The way you speak to yourself in silence becomes the blueprint for how you live your life out loud. Your inner dialogue is not just background noise, it is the command center of your actions, decisions, and emotional state. If your thoughts are filled with doubt, criticism, and limitation, your behavior will eventually align with that energy. But when you begin to consciously control that voice inside you, everything starts to shift in a powerful direction. Most people underestimate how often they defeat themselves before the world even gets the chance to test them. They tell themselves they are not ready, not capable, not disciplined enough, and those repeated thoughts slowly become accepted truths. The mind listens to repetition more than reality. That is why self-talk is either building you or breaking you, even when no one else is around. When you replace negative inner dialogue with intentional supportive thinking, you begin to change your identity from within. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you start asking, how can I do this? Instead of focusing on failure, you start focusing on solutions. This small shift in language creates a massive shift in behavior. Your actions become more confident because your mind is no longer fighting against you. Over time, this habit builds emotional strength. You stop collapsing under pressure because your inner voice is no longer attacking you during challenges. It starts guiding you. It reminds you of your progress instead of your mistakes. It pushes you forward instead of holding you back. When your inner dialogue becomes aligned with growth, your external life begins to reflect that alignment. You act with more clarity, you recover faster from setbacks, and you trust yourself in ways you never did before. This is where real transformation begins, not in what others say or about you, but in what you consistently choose to say to yourself when no one is listening. Most people end their day by escaping it, not understanding it. They scroll endlessly, distract their mind, and fall asleep carrying the weight of everything that happened without ever processing it. But when you build the habit of reflection at the end of your day, you turn ordinary experience into personal growth. You stop letting days pass through you and start learning from them. Reflection is where clarity is created. It is the moment you step back from the noise and look at your actions with honesty. You begin to notice patterns, what helped you move forward, what slowed you down, what decisions gave you energy, and what choices drained it. Without this awareness, you keep repeating the same mistakes while expecting different results. But with reflection, even a small day becomes meaningful progress. This habit doesn't require complexity. It requires presence. You simply become honest with yourself about how you showed up. You see where you stayed disciplined and where you gave into excuses. You acknowledge your wins, no matter how small, because they are proof that you are capable of. Or growth. At the same time, you recognize your weaknesses without judgment so you can improve them tomorrow instead of ignoring them today. Over time, this practice builds self-awareness, and self-awareness is one of the strongest foundations of transformation. You begin to understand yourself deeply, your triggers, your strengths, your patterns, and your emotional responses. This understanding gives you control over your direction instead of leaving your life to chance. When reflection becomes a daily habit, your growth accelerates naturally. You don't just live days, you learn from them. Each night becomes a reset, a recalibration, and a preparation for a stronger tomorrow. Without even realizing it, you start evolving with intention instead of repetition, and that changes everything about the way your life unfolds.